Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I have an absolutely huge story when it comes to the devaluation of the US dollar and how I am again helping you and are wanting to share with you to put the pieces, the puzzle pieces together, showing you that the dollar is dying right now in front of our eyes, that we are losing the control, worldwide control of the petrodollar. And I'm going to give you some historical perspective after I go over this information of what happened. This exact same thing happened 50 years ago, okay, and how it's going to affect you. So here we go. French finance minister issues declaration of independence from the United States. All right, now this is big, and I guarantee you this is not going to be picked up in a lot of news stories. I guess unless you know videos like this start trending, and then we all of a sudden see it in the mainstream media. So this is absolutely huge. All right. It says clear differences remain between France and the US, French minister says, is the headline to a remarkable piece appearing in the New York Times this week. It says right here, French minister Bruno Le Maire is, if I got that right, is brutally frank on the nature of the differences as the quotations below illustrate. In fact, they amount to a declaration of independence of France and the EU from the United States. Now, I'm just going to hit a couple points, and then we're going to talk about what happened 50 years ago. All right, let's see here. My high tech. It says, here's a quote. The United States wants to confront China. The European Union wants to engage China. Le Maire, a close ally of the President Emmanuel Macron of France, said in a wide-ranging interview ahead of the IMF meetings. All right, and I'm going to try and touch, if I can remember, I'm going to touch on what's going on, the battle between the IMF and the Federal Reserve too, when it comes to cryptocurrencies. All right. He says Europe's strategic priority, by contrast, is independence. Then he goes on to say, let's see here, which means to be able to build more capacities on defense to defend its own view on the fight against climate change, to defend its own economic interest. All right, we're going to stop there. And then we're going to bring up a tweet that came out from ORF Online. The fallout between France and Australia, U.S. states has created awkwardness in the Indo-Pacific. Australia will need to bridge the trust deficit that's joining the these tweets, the way they put them together, has created with the European allies. All right, we're going to talk about history. Exactly 50 years ago, almost to the week. It was happened about 6 weeks ago, plus 50 years. France had figured out that the U.S. was out of control with its spending of money. It had been destroying the Bretton Woods Agreement, and what they did in a nutshell is they started cashing in because during Bretton Woods, the bonds, U.S. bonds were, or U.S. paper was redeemable in gold. So they started redeeming gold, and they had no trust for the U.S. financial system. It was getting so bad to where President Nixon was forced to close the gold window, okay? And that actually set us on a completely unbacked currency, which you see from history. That happened in 1971. Approximately 9 years later, we were in an amazing inflationary environment where we had a fuel crisis going on, interest rates were rising. They actually topped out massively because of Paul Volcker spiking them, which he was deemed a hero. But you have to realize that wasn't a hero move, okay? Because on the backside, real estate also collapsed. They don't ever talk about that, right? When you double interest rates on mortgages, it really, really stops real estate sales and causes them to reverse. But the point is that France was completely untrusting of the system, of the U.S. financial system. And now we are here again. I brought you the story as it was just breaking about the tweet that came out from Saudi Arabia saying that they had inked in a deal with Russia for military equipment, protection, all that kind of stuff. At the same time, Russia was inking a deal with Nigeria, right? And I said that is it. That is the start of the destroying of the petrodollar, okay? Now you've had multiple countries coming out now and saying we're going to start doing business with other countries outside of the dollar. Now today you have the French finance minister straight up saying We do not, I'm paraphrasing, we do not trust the US and we want to break free. We want independence. Now, the ECB has talked about this before. We're going to talk about a little cryptocurrency history. And what you're seeing right now, if you're not familiar with what's going on in the cryptocurrency world, there's a company named Ripple that has been working on a blockchain called XRP for a long time. And they've been perfecting it. They've been building contracts with not only central banks to be able to use the XRP blockchain to move actual central bank digital currencies. That's a whole different topic. It's not a blockchain. It's a currency, a digital currency. And I'm sorry, I don't want people's eyes rolling in the back of their heads. But that's a whole nother topic. And the SEC is attacking them right now. Now, ironically, which is awesome, they are losing badly. As a matter of fact, the SEC was just caught lying in court to the judge about a few things, and it's getting really, really ugly for the SEC. But the point is that Ripple Labs has been working with the ECB, and the ECB has acknowledged in multiple documents that they want to do business with Ripple, which is an American company, to be able to make interbank lending and commerce more transparent and free. You see, the world wants to get away from the dollar. They do not want the dollar as ultimate trade settlement. They have come up with a couple different scenarios or solutions, one of them being the SDR, which is a basket of national currencies to pretty much even the distribution of trade and value. Again, another video. And then obviously wanting to use a blockchain like XRP for transparency. This announcement that came out today is so huge because I want you to understand these are puzzle pieces that we're putting together. The dollar is dying because the dollar is only valuable because of its perceived value. And every week we are getting another news story of another country saying goodbye dollar. And so what is going to happen eventually, not tomorrow, the dollar is going to start to lose more and more faith. And it's going to lose more because of losing faith. It's going to lose more value. There has never been a better time to have eyes open right now, looking at world events and going, I see what's happening. See, in the late 70s, after France had lost faith in the US dollar and some other countries had as well too, 9 years later, we have massive inflation and we have gold and silver exploding in value. Okay? I believe, this is not financial advice. I'm just a dude with a bro hawk and a dream, but I can't even joke around this time because I think this time is so paramount for people to understand. These are the times to understand, wake up and go, okay, maybe I need to slowly start to diversify. Wealthy people own gold. I think really smart people own silver, but that's just me because it's so amazingly undervalued and it's still suppressed. It's still suppressed right now. And there's times it's that coiled spring where it goes from suppression to explosion. But that's just me, okay? Again, not financial advice. If you guys want to, by the way, I've got a link. I've worked out some special deals with Miles Franklin. I've got a link in the description below for a form to fill out, and it goes straight to them and they'll get back with you. I've been working with them. I think they're amazing. But I want you guys to understand how big of a deal this is. Slowly start to prepare for a massive inflation. As a matter of fact, CPI, I believe today just hit the exact same level as the peak in the 1970s. So I'm going to be doing a story about that in a little bit. With that being said, I thank you so much for joining me. The Economic Ninja is out.